Welcome to Business Brewin. I'm Alec Littlejohn.
I'm Derek Brewin, where we brew coffee and then we brew business ideas.
I like that intro. That was good.
Yeah, thanks.
So, welcome to the podcast. This is our first introduction podcast called Business Brewin. Like Derek said, where we brew coffee and brew business.
And then brew business. The essentials to your morning.
Yes.
So nice coffee and some brainstorming.
That's right. So why don't we introduce ourselves? So
just a little bit of a agenda. What we're going to talk about today is just a little introduction to whom we are as people.
Yes.
And where we've gone, where we're at, where we want to go.
Okay. Do you want to start this off?
Sure. So my name, as I said, is Derek Brewin. And both of us actually just finished up university 2 weeks ago. So we're both super excited about that.
Yeah.
Having that finished, because we were both kind of dreading all the work that we had to do when we couldn't focus on our business and stuff like that. So it's a huge load off now that we're done that. And so I was in geomatics, and if you have any idea what that is.
What the heck is that?
Yeah, it's satellites, remote sensing, cartography. Yeah. You say, oh, wow. Well, actually, people were like, oh, wow, that sounds really interesting. And I'm just like, yeah, no, it's not. It's not, though.
That's why I'm running my own business.
And that's why I'm here today, doing something a little bit different. It's hot coffee. And yeah, so basically, yeah, that's Derek Brewin. Take it away, Alec.
All right, I'm Alec Littlejohn. I have been taking human kinetics at university, which is essentially kinesiology, but it's a little bit more, I guess, biological, if that makes sense. What I mean by that is just essentially it's like a lot more in depth of the science rather than just like how to work out, how to eat certain foods. This is more like in depth on the microorganisms within our bodies. But yeah, so we both were in school running this business. Not really wanting to be in school. Now, don't get me wrong. When I first started out in university, I wanted to be potentially a vet. All my family members are all vets, so I was kind of just like following in their footsteps when I really didn't want to do that. And then we kind of sat down and we originally started talking about drop shipping, to be honest, because that just kind of came up and we were very interested in that. And then
saw an ad and saw the potential.
Yeah.
And
went through a webinar that was. It was one of the first ones we went through, so it was kind of like, oh my god, there's a timer. Oh my god, we only have like 10 minutes to decide this. Oh my god. But now that we do marketing for other people, we're like, it's just a
facade.
Yeah.
Pseudo.
Hey, it worked. So
exactly.
Now we're here. So we both finished school. It was difficult because we didn't want to be doing school and then trying to do business. So we really didn't have time to do our own business. So our whole business.
Well, we didn't have the time to work on it. We had the time to work in it.
In it, exactly. So we were just doing work for our clients, bringing leads into their business, and never really doing that for ourselves. So we ran just with referrals for. I think we had
last
1 month.
Year.
Yeah, we had 1 month where we got to 11K just referrals alone, which was
really exciting.
Yeah,
it was really exciting to
really
see that
cool.
number.
Yeah.
And just see that people actually want they see value in what we do, which was a really big thing personally. It was just like, I'm only 22 years old, right? So the fact that people are entrusting me with their money, which they work hard for, and expecting a result that they can be happy with is a really big thing.
But they were the people who we worked with. The reason we got so many referrals is because they were a franchise, so they all had like a network. So it was kind of easy to just break into there. But our biggest problem, I think, was just undervaluing ourselves because they were a franchise.
Yeah, we wanted to be like, well, we're like, oh, like, look, they have this many franchises, so if we get this many on board,
do the math in a
we got millions.
Oh my god, that's $500,000
right?
a month.
So we thought that would be great. We wanted to get a whole bunch on board, so we kind of undervalued our services so we could go wide. And then so unfortunately corporate, they hired a new company that they basically made mandatory for all the owners to use, which basically swiped us away. We only have a couple of those clients now. Yeah. But, I mean, you can find the good in all bad, so we're just going to take it as we're starting from scratch, going to do a little bit different of an approach to how we charge our clients and value our services.
Were undervaluing ourselves completely.
Yeah.
So now we get to kind of get less clients and get paid more because we were charging them so little.
Yeah, just undervaluing what we do. I also think it's kind of funny or we should touch note on just like our relationship background. Like we were like best friends for like 7 years, and we spent copious amounts of time together gaming.
Oh God, yeah.
Like
League of
that's just what we
Legends,
did.
yeah.
Like we gamed for hours on end, and then all of a sudden it just kind of changed from hanging out and gaming to hanging out to business development and looking at different ways that we could make money and whatnot. Like we said, started in drop shipping, then we got into social media, and this is kind of where we're at now. So that's kind of how it all started. It's just funny, the transition from gaming at all times, all the time.
Go left, go left, go left. Yeah.
It was pretty bad, but be obsessed or be average.
Yeah. Hey, we were good. We were just like mediocre gamers. We were good gamers. If anybody knows anything about League of Legends, I mean,
Platinum 1.
Let's go. Never make it to Diamond though.
No, but we won't talk about that.
No.
Bad memories.
We're not brewing business right now.
No, we're brewing different stuff right now. But yeah, so where we're at right now is we're gonna start doing some sales. We're gonna start doing some outreach. We're gonna try and again value ourselves a little bit more, get better referrals, better quality referrals, work with less, charge more, so we can provide better for those clients.
I think our big thing right now is we really need a team. Well, like we need a team behind us.
I know, I think it's important to have a team, but I mean, now that we're not in school, we have a lot of time to actually fulfill it.
For sure.
And I think we need to get to a certain threshold where it becomes too much.
Before we do. Yeah,
right.
But we gotta be looking for people like
actively looking. Yeah.
Like
we just hired on an event, basically white label service, because we acknowledge that. Like we said, we work with gyms.
Well, for people who might not know what white labeling, explain that a little bit. So
okay, so it's essentially we find the work and then we hire somebody to fulfill the work, and so their services are essentially white labeled. So they go under our umbrella and they provide the result that our client's looking for, and we just basically connect the two. So basically, it's like contract work where we're not paying them hourly wage or anything like that. We have a job, they fulfill it. Once we get paid, they get paid. Yeah. And it's just about acknowledging that we're not an expert in that space. And that's completely okay with we don't have to be an expert everywhere. And we want to make sure that we get our clients the best results. So that's why we went that route. And I just think going from here, it's just about, we don't want to pigeonhole ourselves for an industry because we want to branch out and see where we can find a very profitable
Well, let's tell them exactly what we do with our clients, because we're talking about,
I guess, we're assuming that they know what we're doing.
So we essentially focus primarily on Facebook advertising. So that's really our bread and butter, where we do all of our
meat and potatoes.
That's right. So we know how to do the copywriting. We know how to build the landing pages. We build essentially funnels that are coming from Facebook to generate leads. Yes. So that's kind of just where our bread and butter is. We've done websites before and whatnot, but I think we're best when it comes to Facebook. So in terms of doing all that other stuff that's related to digital marketing, like
we can contract
social media
it
management, because that's something we've tried it. I've done the social media management. It's not very fun to do.
No, exactly. And if you're not passionate about it, I actually get excited getting results.
Yeah.
When I see the leads come in, I'm like, yes, we know it's working and stuff like that.
I remember
it's really exciting.
Let's tell them about our first client.
Oh yeah. So I worked out at a gym and I got really close with the family who owned it. It was a family run a Muay Thai kickboxing gym.
And this is kind of how we got into the gym.
Yes, exactly, right? So we were learning all this stuff and I kind of went into them being like, hey, I'm learning Facebook advertising and I'm pretty confident in what I can do. I'll work for free, get you some results. Are you interested? And I mean, who wouldn't be? Free work. They only have to pay $100. So I mean, for any business owner, that's kind of a no-brainer. So we did that.
Got crazy results.
Great results, over 100 leads.
160 in 2 weeks.
With only $100 spent.
So now we had our big testimonial.
Yeah.
These are the results we've got. We can do the same for you. And then that's kind of how we just...
Yeah, and that's basically because you were talking about how we got referrals, and that's basically how we sustained ourselves while we were in school, was referrals. We showcased that we were able to do a certain result, present a certain result. Yeah. People liked it, they wanted to work with us, and basically it's just kind of gone out from there. And
yeah, the reason I wanted to bring that up is because you mentioned like you want to be passionate about what you do, and I think this is really where him and I kind of realized how passionate we were, because it was so cool to see
so
the
exciting.
lead pop up on our phones. We were golfing during it, and every time like Derek would pull out his phone and check it out, we got another lead, and it was just so cool to see that you did all this work and now it's actually working really, really well. And then especially talking to the clients afterwards, and their conversion rate on the leads was so high. So I guess it was good to get that first kind of result, but it was also kind of bad because when we had built out other campaigns and we weren't getting 160 leads in 2 weeks, it was kind of like, why aren't we getting leads? Like, what's going on? So we didn't have any of those failures to learn from yet. And then as we went on, there was,
but they've been there now. I tell you that.
That's right. But now it's
they're not failures; they're just learning experiences, right?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
we understand that every area is a little bit different now.
Yeah.
You have to treat it accordingly. You have to experiment.
You need to do your customer research no matter. Like if you have a gym in one area and a gym in the different area, that campaign that worked really well in one area might not work in a different location.
Yeah, exactly.
Just depending on who lives around there. You just got to do your customer
demographics,
research.
how they feel, what makes them feel safe, what makes them feel,
pain.
what's their goals, their pains. Everybody's different. You can't assume that one size fit all for any sort of campaign. I mean, there are ones that generally work, but that's kind of the approach that we've learned. So I guess just moving on from here.
We're just going to be putting out content on YouTube, on this podcast is going to be going out every weekday in the morning. We're looking to put it out at 9:30, just because we'll have to do some stuff to it before we put it out.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It really doesn't matter when we get it out, but we're going to try and do these we're in the process of doing these every day.
Yeah.
And we're going to be a part of your morning essentials. You got to brew your coffee. You got to brew your ideas.
Yeah, if you got to travel to work or whatnot, put us on.
We'll be like the Roz and Mocha show of business.
Show. Yeah. Yeah. But we do tend to go on tangents. So just, if you don't like the tangents, you can, leave, or you can continue to watch us because, they could be full of a lot of value and cool stuff,
Yeah, that was really
badly put.
Enthusiastic
that's
and
okay.
Yeah, enticing.
It's okay. It's the morning. That's why we have our morning brews to kickstart the morning.
Brewin coffee, not brewskis.
All right. Well, if you're watching this on YouTube, click the subscribe button, comment,
hit that notification bell.
Yeah, ding, ding, ding. Okay. Anyways, that concludes today's podcast with Alec Littlejohn and Derek Brewin. You got to cheers, man. Have a great day.
Have a Brewin day.